guys, Asher coming at you today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. Oh, it's going to be a short video today, guys, but an important one nonetheless. Really important, right? It's this realization, this kind of culmination or revelation that I've had after 3 specific videos here on the channel, okay? You don't have to go back and watch them. I'll try to summarize for you guys, but in case you're so inclined, I will link the 3 videos for you guys as well in the description of the video. Number 1 is the Boozer collab, widely considered to be the legit #1 free-to-play player out there in the world, also an awesome content creator if you want to check out his YouTube channel, right? Either way, he's in the conversation. He's end game, and he's completely free-to-play. $0 spent. He even emailed Plarium to get confirmation, to proof of no purchase, I guess, right?
Approved.
Congratulations. Your free-to-play account has been approved. You just need to pay us $3,000 to receive the official documentation.
Conversely, we had Scrap on the channel, right? Now, both Scrap and Boozer are incredibly passionate raid players, right? Who love the game and get really, dive into the nuances of the game, the strategy of the game. A lot of respect for both of these guys. But Scrap, the $1 million account, yeah, that dropped a lot of jaws, myself included. I remember when I first saw his champion collection, I was just like, I literally had a jaw-dropping moment, like, oh my God. Because I think I kind of went into that video like, dude, no one can really spend that much money on an account, right? Like, come on, maybe 100K, maybe 200K, but over $1 million? No way.
You're not a bad person. You're a very good person.
And then you just see rows and rows and rows of duplicate +4 mythicals fully awakened, and you're like, oh, okay, that does make sense. Now, why am I mentioning this? It all culminates in the addiction video that I released a week or 2 ago, right? Basically talking about how I have the propensity to, I don't know, get a little bit too much of a good thing in life, right? And how my struggles with that. And by the way, thank you so much for the responses on that video too. It didn't, you always hesitate when you click upload on a video like that, honestly, but I digress. And then I had, actually the 4th video was my last Void Shard opening, where I went for, oh God, what's his even name, right? What, Teox, I think? No. I went for, no, way worse than Teox. I went for Copper Coin. Teox would be an improvement. I went for this dude in the Void Shard opening. Listen, he's not an awful, I don't think he's an awful champion at all. But this realization is that Boozer enjoys the game a 10 out of 10. And Scrap might enjoy the game a 10 out of 10, and I might enjoy the game a 10 out of 10, but yet there's a mass discrepancy of how much disposable income that we spent on this game, right? So the #1 thing that Plarium's big job, their big secret, the big thing they don't want players to really meditate on is that 99% of the champions of this game, especially as you progress to the end game, the more you progress, you don't need them. But their job is, and sometimes to our discredit, that I think that we do a pretty good job, CCs, of like taking an objective view at every fusion, every champion, every event, and we do it, with good nature. But I think even giving our opinion, oops, gotta pick up my son soon.
You can go now.
I think we do it with good nature, but I think even giving our opinions like, oh, must fuse. And granted, like there's some really good fusions, like a Newt and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we should be talking about them. There's very few like must-haves, because ultimately, who are you competing against? Your own bank account, really, right? The longer you go, it's a spending trap, right? It's not necessarily the free-to-play versus the spenders. The longer you go in this game, the more valuable champions you're going to pick up along the way, right? You get the freebies at first, you get the sills, maybe you get a Sun Wukong, maybe you get a UD, it just depends on when you log in, maybe you get a Ninja, for example, right? And then, as you progress, whether you're spending or not spending, you're going to get your hands on champions. And truthfully, the longer you play, the way less, shorter, your dollar goes, right? So when I'm pulling for this dude, Diamond, man, like, why? If I had gotten him, what would I even do with him? Like, yeah, sure, he has intercepts, so maybe you could make the argument, well, Ash, that's the exception to the rule. But that's the thinking that Plarium wants you to adopt, right? Korrigar is a good example. I went for Korrigar, I don't know, a few months back. I never got him originally, right? And I was like, this guy's a monster. And I think he is a monster. I think he's a really, really good champion. I never use him because this is the trap they get you in, is, hey, he's a great champion, but who cares? I already have everything that I need. What am I gonna do? Score 1 more million damage on Hydra clan boss? Whoop-de-doo. It's not gonna impact my overall enjoyment of the game. I look at my own clan here, right? Do I think that because in my clan ranking, I have, what the heck, my member ranking, excuse me, do I think that I have 43 million power, that I'm enjoying the game double as much as Shadow or 3 times as much as Atticus or Doctor Who? No. All I've done is spent like 20 times more than them, right? I actually saw this Reddit post that I wanted to end on here. This is the #1 thing that people need to realize about this game, right? It's a trap. And I love this game. That's the thing. I'm not making this as a hate video. I'm not making a spam negative reviews. I think this game is inherently awesome. I really do. For its category, I think it's the best of the genre because you can play it low spending or no spending and really enjoy it. I hear from hundreds, if not thousands of you guys all the time. I've seen free-to-play series where the creators had a ball, right? I saw this Reddit post. Shout out to Crisscross Applesauce 3. Oh, I like that name. I don't know. Rolls off the tongue. Crisscross Applesauce. This is his experience mirrors my experience. So please, I know it's boring for me to read something here to you guys, but let's go through it quickly together. I spent around $400 trying to get my hands on Teox again today. And honestly, I've been there, right? I've been there. Went fairly hard for him during the Sacred Shard event, pulled 90 Sacreds, and ended up getting him. I did manage to grab him during this Summoning Pool event, and I walked away with a Teox, a 3rd copy of Dracomorph, and my first Necmo Thar. Stoked for him. Raid is a predatory game. We all know that. I'm fortunate enough to make enough money to support my lifestyle, save money for my future, and be able to spend in the game. I actually had a video in the addiction video talking about it's not can you afford to spend on Raid, it's what could you have used that money on instead. It could be charitable, it could be for your own family or friends, it could be a gift, it could be for yourself. 4 Sacred Shards, I could get like an awesome massage or something, you know? I don't know. Even in light of predatory practices, Raid takes part in the game is extremely fun, has a depth to the games that many games do not have. I totally agree. It's also extremely easy to pick up whenever and continue feeling progression even while not playing. I agree. This is a huge draw for me as I often do not have the time to sit and play a more traditional game. That's what drew me into Raid 2. It really is like this guy is me. After pulling Teox for the first time, I had a feeling of dissatisfaction or numbness, if you will. Ooh, this is good. Not from the money I spent on him or the past purchases, but instead the realization that I don't even have anything to do. He doesn't do anything for me. The main interest for me was to get him for Hydra. Hydra is the sole reason I play this game and I love it so much. I currently do about 8 billion in Clash points without having a single cheese comp. No Wixmel teams, no Trunda teams. No, I could do Wixbell if I wanted to, Shield Simulator, but it's not fun for me. And my account is allergic to Trunda, so I've never even pulled him on many attempts. After pulling Teox and the initial excitement wore off, I began to think to myself, what does this even do for me? Yeah, I might be able to add an extra even billion Clash points, potentially to my score. But that's still not enough to compete with these cheese comps. 1 billion more Clash points is rounding error for Trunda teams. And this is a good point here, honestly, guys. And this is like, I know a lot of you guys are very, very against a Trunda nerf. I know the majority of you guys. But I think it does raise an interesting, I guess, debate, right? I think it's contradictory to even Plarium's best interest in a way, but I digress. 1 billion more Clash points, a rounding error for Trunda teams. The act of pulling Teox effectively invalidates previous spending and grinding I had done. The thing that resonated with me was even more the teams I had worked so hard to min-max and perfectly become useless. I'm sorry for butchering this. To put it in perspective, I have 2 Archer Queens, and very well not be able to use them in Hydra anymore because there are better options. Oof. That resonates with me so much. I have so many good Hydra champions that I just don't use because another champion that I paid like $1 million for is incrementally better, right? A champ considered a Hydra god is somehow not even good enough for my teams anymore. I truly love and enjoy this game. We'll continue to play. But this moment has really made me realize that there's truly no point any longer to keep chasing the next big thing. I'm going into relaxation mode. I'm going to enjoy my account for what it is and grows to be naturally without spending. TLDR, I made this a post to be insight for those who spend or consider it. If you're able to spend and it brings you enjoyment, go ahead. But diminishing returns are a serious thing in Raid, especially in the end game. Oh, man.
Who the hell are you?
I'm not even signed in. thumbs up. Massive shout out to this poster. It really, really resonated with me. That's why I wanted to make this video. Check out the top 2 responses. I won't read them all, but the top 2 responses also. I've been a free-to-play player for 3 years now. I just reached the end game, and I'm already thinking about creating a new account because the journey was so great. I don't care about billions of Hydra damage, live arena, or platinum arena. Wow. That's possible? I guess it is. Joe says, this game is a trap for spenders. It's well designed, like a resource management game. Meaningful, weighty decisions regarding resource allocation, unlike a lot of other gacha games that basically put you on the rails and shower you with rewards just for showing up and going through the motions daily. Spending to accelerate the progression is basically denying yourself the enjoyment of figuring out what to do with what you're given. I'm going to link this, guys, and you can go ahead and give him some love, because another great post here. So much great insight on this Reddit thread. I want to make this video because I felt like these are important to mention as we go through the day-to-day shard openings and the clan versus clans and now clan siege, right? This game is, I do think it affords a lot of strategic options to players out there, especially to the original poster's point. People like me who don't have a lot of time to play these games actively necessarily throughout the day. You know, like I do a lot of idle playing in Raid, and some days I don't play Raid at all, like actively play Raid at all. Some days I'll play for, you know, an hour or half an hour, maybe even less, right? But I really enjoy Raid for what it is, but I've already made a couple of videos talking about I'm putting myself on a way more limited budget, because the truth is, to his point, and I'm belaboring it here, you don't need what you think you need. The whole aspect of this game is, the whole thing that Plarium doesn't really want to broadcast, but you should know, is it's their job to make you feel like you need the new champions, the nice, bright, shiny new toy, new object. Try to always be cognizant that that's just not the case. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.